Uh, Good morning, everybody, or good afternoon. Is the pen mightier than the sword? I suppose I'll try bring it a little bit more up to date and give you a little talk as to what we're hoping to achieve here in Longford, using our natural resources. And from a pen point of view, this has been written up as a report by myself and put in writing in the county development plan. And without any swords, so far, we're achieving so much. However, we may need to rattle the sword in the near future, but I'll come to that. So anyway, the talk is very loosely based on Goldsmith, The Traveller. I'm bringing it all back home. I'm sure some of you, if not all of you, know the poem. And it's about his journey through Europe and his experiences. And here's beautiful Ballymahan. Wherever I roam, whatever realms to see, my heart, untravelled, fondly turns to thee. So we have a very beautiful county here in Longford, the very beautiful town of Ballymahan, very under-visited. We all love it, and we know what beautiful countryside we have. So part of the work I'm at in Longford County Council and with Mary and Mairead is to try open up some of that beauty to the country and internationally, to bring visitors in and hopefully bring business and a few jobs into the area. So beautiful Longford. Longford has many glittering towns and villages with wealth and splendour crowned. We've obviously got very beautiful Newtown Cashel and beautiful Abbeyshrew. And I've just come from bringing 20 students from Notre Dame University in Indiana through Newtown Cashel, where I left them, and I'll be picking them up outside when I'm finished here. So, ye fields where summer spreads profusion round, ye lakes whose vessels catch the busy gale, Loch Ree as seen from Saints Island. Beautiful towns, beautiful lakes, beautiful sunshine, beautiful countryside. We know how beautiful it is. They're our natural assets that we feel we can use to show to tourists and let them to come and enjoy our beautiful county and hopefully stay and join us for food, drink and accommodation and music, of course, as well. Sees an amphibious world beneath him smile, the slow canal, the yellow blossomed vale, the willow tufted bank, the gliding sail, the crowded mart, the cultivated plain, a new creation rescued from his reign. This is the beautiful Royal Canal which passes through us. It comes all the way from the Liffey in Dublin on the north side, travels down through the Midland Plains and passes just west of us here at Brannigan Harbour and on to Clondra where it enters the Shannon. This is a wonderful natural asset, a man-made asset, but it's nearly a natural asset at this stage that's available to us to use and develop to open up the countryside, particularly from the point of view of walking and cycling. And that's what we're really at today. The era of the car is passing. The time of the bicycle is coming in, and more people are getting on their bicycles and beginning to enjoy themselves and lose the bit of weight that we've picked up along the way. So what are we doing with this beautiful canal? Here's the blue line there is the Royal Canal coming from Mullingar, from Dublin, down to Ballymahan and on up to Clondra. And we're developing that as a walking, cycling route all the way down from Dublin. At the moment it's done from the Westmeath boundary with Meath at Kinnegad, all the way through to Abbeyshrew as a 3 metre wide, fully fledged, fully surfaced cycle path. Every Sunday morning, myself and a group from Abbeyshrew cycle from Abbeyshrew back to Mullingar, through the bogs, through the fields, the most beautiful, beautiful countryside you'll ever see. No cars, just you and your bike and the birds and the bees. 2 to 3 years it'll be done all the way from Dublin, and we're pushing on this year towards Ballymahon. We're doing it out of our own resources in Longford. That's you, the taxpayer, and the ratepayer contributing. We're putting up a little bit of money every year to continue that. And where the sword might be needed as opposed to the pen is we've been arguing and fighting with the Department of Transport to give us the money to finish it off quickly. So we had Minister Shane Ross down here 2 weeks ago, and we were giving him a bit of the sword. So if you're ever talking to Boxamoran, give him an old tap on the back and say, when's the money coming for our canal? So having brought people down from Dublin, got them to Ballymahon and Clondra, what else is there for them to do when they get here? They're not just going to cycle and what else? So we have this proposal for the Mid-Shannon Wilderness Park, which I talk a little bit more about. You can see it there. We have a proposal to run a lake shore cycle path from Clondra down through Lanesborough into Newtown Cashel and over to Ballymahon and on down to Athlone, which will complete the loop, because at the moment you can cycle along this green line along the old railway line back into Mullingar. So you'll have a circular route that you can travel on, cycle on, walk, and you can get out onto the Mid-Shannon Wilderness Park. The Mid-Shannon Wilderness Park is the canal, the bogs, the farmland, and the Shannon and Lough Ree, all incorporated into the one proposal. All the most beautiful natural countryside. And as I say, I had 20 Notre Dame students there this morning, and they were blown away by what they saw. Nobody gets to see this except us, luckily. So there, just briefly, there's the Royal Canal. There's the green section we've done into Abbeyshrew. We're now pushing on past that green section along the blue line. The green section up the top is already done, Longford out to Killashee and out to Clondra. And what we're pushing the Department of Transport on is to fund that blue and red so that we could get it done within a year or two. That way we think we'll get a lot more visitors, cyclists, people coming down to us, wanting to stay with us, wanting to spend their money and loving this countryside and enjoying it, so that Longford will go from the least visited county in Ireland to hopefully the most visited county in Ireland in a very sustainable way. And what I suppose the traveller, what we're trying to do is, as opposed to Goldsmith travelling Europe, we're trying to bring the Goldsmiths of this world back to Ireland and travel Ireland and enjoy the beauty of Ireland and Longford. And hopefully they'll enjoy it so much that they'll be inspired to write the new poems, such as The Traveller. There's the bogs in County Longford, both sides of the Shannon into Roscommon. They're Bordnamona bogs, which will be cut away between the next 10, 15 years. Bordnamona will be no longer cutting peat. They're committed in their licence to replant that and bring that back to nature. State-owned land that's going to be renatured in the next 10 years and therefore becomes available to us, the public, to utilise in some sort of a way. So the idea is to take them off the canal and out into the bogs as it regenerates for nature. It'll be a mixture of wetland, bog and birchwood. So it will become a very, very extensive, you're talking about 30,000 hectares in total. Put that with Lough Ree and you've nearly 50,000 hectares of state-owned land, which opens up this potential for this Midlands Natural Park, which, where would you go in the world where you would get 50,000 hectares of pure nature? Obviously, the birds will come in, the animals will come in, and it'll be of interest to ornithologists, etc. And there's just a little bit more detail where we come off the canal, which is the blue line, and break out onto the Bordnamona rail track, which is the red line. So you can cycle down from Dublin, get out onto the bog, the railway line, the red line's there, and cycle through the bogs and go down to the lovely villages, Newtown Cashel, Lanesborough, etc. We're actively working on this, and bits and pieces of this are coming through at the moment, so it's not necessarily a pipe dream, it's actually happening as we speak. Oh, I forgot to point out, there's the Bordnamona Bridge over the Shannon, so we don't have to build a bridge, we've got one already. Like crossed it myself, and it's like crossing the bridge over the River Kwai. It's quite an achievement to get to the other side as opposed to walking a normal road bridge. It's beautiful. You're in the middle of nowhere. So this is what we have. There's our beautiful wilderness. This is what the bogs will develop into in about 5-10 years' time. And blessed be that spot where cheerful guests retire to pause from toil, and trim their evening fire. Skelly's in Ballymahon, where they'll be able to have a good time. Thanks very much.